Democrats. Marshall is a syndicated radio talk show host and Fox News contributor. Luke Thompson, National Review contributor and a former NRSC digital director. Let me ask you, Luke, about I have a political question for you when it comes to Joe Biden. I am interested in this because all the candidates are now going to be asked, do you think your front runner for the 2020 Democratic nomination is now in trouble? We expect to hear from him any minute.
If I'm a Democrat running for president, I say absolutely not. Joe Biden is a paragon of respectability. Sure, he's slowing down a little bit, but he's done great service. Let's talk about me. I don't think there's any angle for a Democrat in the primary to come out as a candidate and say this is a problem for Joe Biden, because you know that the president's going to do that. You know that elements in the press are going to do that. Ken Vogel has gone on television and said that the New York Times is still running this story down. So all that would do is make you look small without actually gaining any advantage.
Leslie, this is a big step for Democrats. But I mean, they've been inching towards impeachment. It's slowly, and it's been a slow slog. And gosh, they really don't want to do it. But now maybe they're finally going to, get off the pot.
Well, we just saw Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, saying and really backing up what she's been saying all along, which is that she needs the evidence, she needs a smoking gun, but she also talks about needing bipartisan support, because we know what happened historically, and you touched upon that. I mean, Bill Clinton was, impeached in the House as Trump would be.
His popularity went up. I'm going to read this cold. President Trump tweeting again just now, so it's my first time seeing it too. The Democrats are so focused on hurting the Republican Party and the president that they are unable to get anything done because of it, including legislation on gun safety, lowering of prescription drug prices, infrastructure, etc. So bad for our country. I'm going to add another one to that, and that is the president is awaiting the passage of the trade bill, the USMCA, I guess we're calling it, the new NAFTA. That is something that actually has bipartisan support. There are quibbles to be had, but if you're going down this path of impeachment, does everything else stall out?
Yeah, I think the notion that we're going to get any major legislation in the next 12 months is
really
pretty quickly going out the window. The USMCA could get through. It's got some momentum, but also notice the things that the president mentioned there are either highly polarizing, like gun legislation, or expensive, like infrastructure. So those weren't likely targets anyway, but it's good politics to put the blame on Democrats.
Because, I love an infrastructure week. If that was coming back, that would be great. What about the Democrats? There was a thing in 2018, they said, put us in charge, right? So they win back the House. But what if they don't pass any legislation? Do they take into the re-election effort in 2020? Like, why vote for us if it comes down to just impeachment?
Well, there are a couple of things. All they have to do is say, look how many bills we have passed in the House, we've sent to the Senate, and the majority leader hasn't put them on the floor for a vote, so they stalled there.
But House
so they
Republicans tried that too in 2018, and it didn't work.
Correct, but we are in a different time right now. And I mean, the voters are of a different mindset, and the voters who will determine the outcome of the election, the swing voters in the swing states, the independents who may have voted for Trump but aren't happy with him or the party right now, that honestly, this issue, Ukraine is not number one on their mind. The Mueller investigation in Russia was not. That's not what voters are caring about. They're caring about not even the economy, specifics within the economy, like health care or immigration or gun control. And by the way, the Democrats win, even on both sides of the aisle in the polling right now.
And the Democrats will have to go to the public and say, yes, we know you care about all these issues, and we didn't address them because we wanted to impeach the president over Hunter Biden's honor.
No, you can walk and chew gum at the same time.
I really sincerely doubt that. I think we're looking at an impeachment election, and I think the Democrats are going off a cliff.
And we actually haven't had this. To match Slap's point, when he was on earlier, he said when Richard Nixon was impeached and when Bill Clinton was impeached, they had already been reelected. This is uncharted waters, and so I mean, we really don't know. There's not a historic precedent of recent memory. I don't know the whole 200 some odd years.
But even if we look at the history that we do have, as you had mentioned, Bill Clinton's popularity increased.
Yeah,
he didn't resign. Newt Gingrich did. The Speaker did. The Republicans lost seats in both the House and the Senate, and Speaker Pelosi is very aware of that. That's why she keeps talking about the divisiveness in this country of impeachment, and that's why she says that she wants bipartisan support for this. Even Adam Schiff has said, if you impeach him in the House and he's acquitted in the Senate, what have you done other just fulfill your constitution?
Maybe a last quick word for you before we send it to Shep. But what do Republicans do now? Because basically they can say, well, gosh, I'm not for impeachment.
They watch and they wait and they let their Democratic colleagues go too far away from the sort of median voter in America because they're scared of primary challenges.
Well, it's been fascinating.